answer to. I'm crazy, all for the love of you.
Welcome to the latest episode of Nerds Amalgamated. I'm the Professor, and tonight we have Bucky.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Bucky?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's a very drawn out fantastic.
Well, I've finished all my assignments for the year, so I'm quite happy to just chill and relax.
So now you've got 3 months of slacking.
Well, yeah, something like that.
And
3
our
months
other host, DJ.
Hey all.
Are you slacking too, DJ?
I'm always slacking. What are you talking about?
If you look up Slack in the dictionary, it's got a picture of the DJ.
Anyway, tonight is our Supanova review episode. We went to Supanova and we hosted a booth along with the other podcasts from That's Not Canon. And of course, we need to extend our thanks to our manager representative type guy, Zane, who runs That's Not Canon, and booked the booth and arranged all of this for us.
All hail the mighty Zane.
All hail Zane.
You guys are really buying into the cult of Zane.
Give it time, you will too.
Hey, we've got a podcast about fake governments. We should make a podcast about fake religions and start it with the cult of Zane.
So, who's going to write the Bible of Zane?
The Penguins.
Penguins are Zane's holy messengers. All right, DJ, it wasn't that funny. You can stop choking to death.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about it, and yeah.
This folks is the reason why we try not to tell him too many new ideas at one night.
Okay, drag yourself away from the Penguins for a minute, DJ. What did you enjoy about Supanova?
Everything. Like, just even though it was Friday, it was pretty quiet when we were there. I just like the whole atmosphere, dude. Like, this was my first time being at Supanova, and it was very cool.
And we actually let him out of the box on his own.
Yeah, that was not the best idea.
I don't know. He actually found some really cool stuff.
Actually, he went and made friends.
He did, and I seriously, I like some of the people he sent to see us, and he dragged me to go and see. He was like a little puppy on a leash. Quick! You gotta come and see this. You gotta come and see this.
Yes, there's little dogs that they run ahead and then stop to make sure you're following.
Yeah,
but yeah, we met some really cool people along the way on our stay at Sup on Friday.
we did.
Yeah, man.
And the most amazing of which, we've got to give a shout out to at the very top of the show.
Absolutely.
Super T, a couple of guys that are trying to help people in hospital kids in hospital, have shirts that are specially designed for them and aren't boring.
And clip up on the side so you can fit all of your sensors and feeding tubes and stuff in.
Yes, and seriously, if you go and check out these guys online and you don't walk away in absolute awe of the effort these guys have put in, you need to check your pulse, because this is at the end of the Friday, and we were heading home, and I got to meet them, and I was absolutely amazed. So
yeah,
huge shout out.
The security guards had to kick us out because we were too busy talking to Super T.
Yeah,
and then we told them we had a booth, so they were kind of willing to let us stay. But yeah, like you can either buy a special tin, which is
like
on its own
style.
On its own is looking really, really cool, but it has a little shirt inside and a couple of bits and pieces that will be given to a child in the hospital.
Including stickers. Human children love stickers.
Yeah, or if you're in a hospital, you got to have something cool to do. And then, or you can donate money. So if you go onto their website and have a look at some of the stuff, like these guys are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And their website is supert.com.au. As usual, it's in the shout out in the show notes.
Yes.
Yeah, I met him a few hours ago, and I was saying it was a really worthy cause in terms of helping.
A few hours ago?
No, not a few hours ago. On Friday, one of the first few people I met. Yeah, they were pretty cool too. Pretty cool bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than Super T, we met a lot of other people as well.
Yeah,
We did.
So
Yeah, we met a lot of artists which were very talented. They were very, very talented. Who did we meet? One of them. Oh yeah, Jamie Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he when the Buck, for anyone who wants to know more about the Buck, he is a huge Phantom fan.
Well, I'm huge, and I am a massive fan of the Phantoms. So yeah.
Yeah, so we met Jamie, and he was very nice to tell us more about the Phantom.
Well, he's an amazingly talented artist. Like we got some photos there on the Facebook page where he actually did a custom drawing of Wolverine with I forget the name of the guy from the Fortress.
Trent. You mean Trent?
Yeah. Trent was presented with a special birthday present. It was him as Wolverine, and Jamie Johnson had drawn it that day. So yeah, if you look at the picture, you can see how incredibly talented this guy is.
So there you have it. Drawings are a great present if you forgot to get a present early.
Oh no, this was early. It was his birthday.
Okay.
Is this weekend? I think it is coming.
But you said he drew it that day.
The picture was drawn that day, and
Yeah.
it was a gift from his partner or girlfriend. And it's his birthday's coming up this weekend. So yeah, she got it to him a whole week in advance.
So what was your favourite part, Bucky?
Well, meeting Jamie Johnson was pretty outstanding. And then there was two of the other groups that came to visit us. One was Blue Fox Props by Stephanie Tinnan, who is an epic Skyrim fan, who makes helmets and other props, and yeah, just absolutely beautiful work there.
Interestingly, I told her when I came to a booth, I said, if you show Buck that Skyrim helmet, he will freak and he will smile for days.
I wanted to buy it, and I asked Zane if we're allowed to buy it for the podcast, and he said, yeah, but you do realize people won't see you wearing it. And I said, I don't care. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money for it on me at the time. But she's got like iron helmets, Elvish, the Thalmor helmets, I should say.
She even made an Avatar Blue Spirit mask as well, which was really cool.
So yeah, she's got some amazing bits and pieces there to check out. The other one that I really enjoyed was the Sons of Obi-Wan, the Saber Academy. Like they're the main standout ones. Like then there was one guy that absolutely rocked my socks in a massive way, and that was the legendary Rick Meads, who's written a children's story about quantum physics.
Here we go. I was waiting for you to get to this one. I thought this would be your favourite one.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kind of rush into it. It's one of those ones. It was just so. At the end of the day, Rick Meads came around to say hello to us, and he dropped a bombshell on us about his children's story that he's written, and he's got published. And I'm just trying to find the name of it. Where is it?
It's Speckles Search for Friends.
Yes. Speckles Search for Friends.
Speckle is literally the universe.
And it talks about how the whole process of the Big Bang. So it's written by him, and the drawings are all by his partner. And yeah, like seriously, check this out. It was I literally had to stand up and shake his hand and say thank you.
Yeah, you were.
And I was upset that I didn't have this as a child.
Yeah, you were shaking his hand like you were the president, and he's like, "Thank you for saving our country." That kind of, he had that face.
Well,
it's because Bucky would prefer to have this than the lead paint toys.
Well, the lead paint toys aren't necessarily too bad, depending on which gaming system they're from. Like I do like my Warhammer, but yeah, like this guy's just got the most original idea for a children's book, and it is just so well written.
I have never seen anyone ever try to make a children's book about quantum physics.
And there should be more of it. Seriously. We should be encouraging children to learn.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't let your children turn out like the DJ.
Or the professor.
Hey, I learn. Where do you think I got my name from?
Sometimes I think it's a typo.
Back of the cornflakes box. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's just trying to see if I can find anything on here. Yeah, look, seriously, go check him out, and he is such a nice guy. Like when he came around, he introduced himself. I was like, oh, who's this? And he was so unassuming with how he introduced himself and introduced Speckles Search for Friends. And it was just like, hang on, can you say that again? So,
he seems to be incredibly proud of his work, and he deserves it.
Yes.
He showed us his one of his sort of preview copies, and it's looking really good. Better than Spot. And I know, having two younger siblings, exactly how boring and mind-numbing Spot is.
Hey, I'm an uncle, and I wish I could get hold of this to give to my nephew. Even my nephew that's about to turn 21, I'd give this to.
Well, he's 21, so eventually he'll have his own kids, probably.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't all get nuked into oblivion by then.
Oh, you never know. Yeah, in his author's bio, he's saying about writing the book, he goes, "This is no easy task. Trying to rhyme words that have never been rhymed before was Speckles' greatest challenge." So yeah, he was right. Just he's done it in a very Dr. Seuss sort of approach. So it's easy to read and it's very educational.
So the the other people we met were Cyanide Pop Press.
Who's also Zenyaku.
Yes, Senyaku on Facebook.
Yeah.
I didn't really speak to them. What do they do?
They do a lot of their own comic sort of style stuff. They showed us he actually gave me a copy of a little collection of comic strips that they created themselves, and that they almost got thrown out of Supanova last year for producing and handing out for free.
Wow.
Yeah, it's they do some stuff that's a bit controversial, but they do have some pretty cool artwork and some good bits and pieces there.
Well, they're the guys that gave you the Sonic comic?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the one that he almost got kicked out of Supanova for last year.
Your audio's going, Bucky.
Sorry, I was just saying that was the one that he almost got kicked out of Supanova for last year. I was just trying to say it quietly for the DJ. Trying to avoid embarrassing him.
Yeah, you can't really do asides when we're so far apart. You have to whisper rather loudly.
Yes, the cover is a picture. It's what is it? I think he even got in trouble off of Sega for it. But it's Sonic Dirties, and it's rated R.
We're turning into And Then They Effed. Bucky's reviewing Sonic.
I'm not. Yeah, if you put it this way, if you can get hold of one of these, your eyebrows will meet your hairline, and you'll have a chuckle.
Should we ask And Then They Effed to have you on as a special guest, Bucky? With Sonic Comic?
No, well, we'll let them have a look at that. The interesting part is the fact that on the cover they say, "This will totally destroy and obliterate your childhood." And trust me,
Luckily, the DJ doesn't have a childhood, being born fully formed off an assembly line in China.
Don't say that. The Chinese will get upset. You're blaming them for him. We threatened to say that about the Americans, and then they promised to invade.
Yeah, that happens. But, you know, we're doing well. We've only had about 3 major international diplomatic incidents.
Yeah. Give us time. It's early in the episode. Yeah, as other group that I mentioned before, Sons of Obi-Wan, Saber Academy. I was actually looking at some of their stuff. They've actually met, because they've been going to various conventions for a while. They've actually met a number of amazing people. One of whom was Stanley, I think. May have to double check that. Or was that was Comics to You? Sorry, Comics to Movies. Who was another group that we met. Sons of Obi-Wan. They gave a lightsaber to one of the guys from The Hobbit, I think it was. So yeah, they gave it to him as a birthday present, all specially inscribed in Dwarvish runes for his character's name and so forth.
That would be a weird crossover.
Yeah, but he was pretty cool and he was actually pretty impressed with it. So
it's over, Gandalf. I have the high ground. You shall not pass.
So Luke Skywalker is Frodo.
They're taking the Jedi to Isengard. They're taking the Jedi to Isengard.
So we're going to include Wizard of Oz as well. Yeah, I think might need to stop talking about crossovers here. Last time we did, it got a bit grotty. And the DJ's still having weird thoughts and discussions.
Yeah,
but I think it was it Gimli? I thought it was Gimli, the guy who plays Gimli. They gave it to him.
No,
was he in The Hobbit apart from the cameo or something?
They gave it to Gimli or whatever. I'm just going to try and look up who it was that they gave it to. The DJ's affecting my computer's internet speed. It was going great earlier on, and then I started talking to DJ, and everything's just kind of slow.
He's sucking the processing power out of your computer to supplement his own.
I wouldn't put it past him.
So, while Bucky's looking that up, what was your favorite cosplay, DJ?
Oh, I didn't really see much cosplay on the day we were there.
Did you have your eyes closed?
Kinda. I did meet a couple of cosplayers, but they were
for some examples of cosplay that the DJ didn't see. Check out our Facebook page where we've got cosplayers to hold our promo cards.
Yeah, such as the cosplayer who helped us understand how the professor was sold on the new Doctor being a female.
Oh, that was a good moment. That was a very good moment.
Now you're stooping to stealing the DJ's jokes.
Oh no! I was the one who came up with that. He stole it from me.
Oh.
I actually said that on the day, and then he just repeated.
Yeah, actually, you did. Yes, it was an excellent 13th Doctor cosplay and a life-size Dalek, which I think had someone inside it.
Sean Austin, who's Stanley Martin
and Bob from Stranger Things Season 2.
Yes, that was... sorry for just coming back there. Samwise Gamgee is the one they gave us lightsaber to.
Oh, I see the picture.
They've actually got Shannon Doherty, Sean Austin, and Stefan Kapicic trying to break one of their special lightsabers. So yeah,
they had one of Stanley as well.
Add that to the show notes, TJ.
And Bomber from The Hobbit, is the one they gave the special one to, with a shirt of Sons of Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Like, these guys are getting around.
And a photo of them with Stan Lee that the DJ is just thrown into the show notes.
Yes. There it is. Yeah, I'd seen him somewhere.
They granted Stan Lee the title of Honorary Grandmaster of the Sons of Obi-Wan.
Yes. And we had a couple of the girls, or a couple of the ladies, I should say, not girls. I'm old. Come around and were quite eager to see us and say hello, and they were quite excited about the fact that we were the people who were, our TNC were the people that were doing the So You Think You Can podcast panel, and they wanted to come around and meet us, and when they found out where we were, they raced around. And we're quite happy to have a chat.
And take all of our promo cards?
Yes. And they were quite eager to talk to Zane. So if Elvis Lives doesn't come up soon, there's someone considering doing a similar podcast.
I feel kind of bad. We keep throwing Elvis Lives out there, and he hasn't even published his first episode yet.
I think it's actually
no pressure, mate.
I think it's actually a lady doing it, by the way.
Okay. I haven't paid that much attention. I just saw the logo and went, oh, this looks good.
Yes. I have to admit I'm looking forward to it as well, but yeah. So, where were we? We're talking about
Sons of
Sons of
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan and who they've met, and
And the cosplay.
Who was your standout, DJ?
In terms of who, my standout would be comics to movies. That was my stand. But in terms of whom I met,
Mm-hmm.
I went to their booth when I first came in, and I went to their booth and it looked amazing. They had a lot of artwork. Like they had a split face artwork, and it was very beautiful. I bought some actually. I bought some from those guys. I bought one about Captain America and Iron Man because I'm a bit of a Marvel fan. The Transformers. I even bought their limited edition Mortal Kombat poster.
Awesome.
But they're pretty cool people to talk to and stuff. The guy in the booth was the director. Sean Keenan, his name is.
Okay.
And he's got his own comic books out called XCT.
Okay.
And I wish to get I would love to get a copy of his comics because it's
What is XCT about?
it's basically so for all these famous heroes of our
Extreme Champion Tournament.
yeah. So you've got
I've actually just brought up his webpage and it's
okay, cool. Okay.
so
Cool. It looks really cool though, like the backstory in terms of how all the characters in the comics were in this one big tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spartacus, one is one of them.
How many of them?
Extreme Championship Tournament, eh?
How many of them were Spartacus?
Unfortunately, one. Unfortunately.
He's
Kind of too much of a good thing.
well, actually, I'm looking at it here. Like, there's a couple of Spartacus copies there. I'll post that in for the show notes. There's a link there. My goodness, we got lots of pictures.
We do.
We met some amazing people.
Yeah. I want. There were a lot of art. As I said, I met a lot of artists along the way. But to name a few, who was one of my? There were a couple of famous ones I've met. The other one I met was Warwick Wong, for example. Pretty cool artist, to name a few. But
Well, it's naming one.
yeah, well, naming
Yeah.
one. Who else did I meet?
I don't know. You spent more time away from the booth than you did actually at the booths.
Damien Szymankiewicz. Yeah, that's a second.
And who is Damien Coix?
He's a comic book artist and a writer as well. So that's one of he's did a couple of. Let me just check. Let me just get the pages up there. What was your highlight, Professor?
Getting to meet all of our adoring people who wanted to take our promo card. I'd say fans, but I don't think we met many of our fans there. Lots of people took our promo cards, which means we should have lots more fans now. And you know who you are. You are my favorite new fan.
There we are.
Who's that?
That's
They know who they are.
But with terms of cosplays, I think the best one I saw was a girl dressed up as one of the anime series I've been currently watching called RWBY. She dressed up as Yang, and it looks really cool.
Is that little known anime series made by
Rooster Teeth?
No, it wasn't Rooster Teeth.
RWBY is made by Rooster Teeth, dude.
It was
It
was Avian Chompers. No one's ever heard of them. They're a little known company.
I was getting nervous when I was walking through from one end of the center to the other to get to our booth from the entrance, and I saw a stand for RWBY, and I thought, well, there goes the DJ's money.
Unfortunately, I didn't buy anything. That's the one.
And then right after that, I had a horrible sense of dread because I saw was it Mad Comics? Madman Publications.
Oh yes, the anime store.
Yes, they had a booth, and I was like, yeah. And I was thinking I could spend so much money there. I've got no money. But there was a huge crowd around. I mean, like literally, it was like 5 or 6 deep, and it was just like a crowd of zombies around the stand. And I thought, I haven't got a chance to get there, and I've got to get up and find the booth. So I just walked away, a small tear trickling from the corner of my eye, thinking, I wish I had the money to go there, and then just kick all these people out of the way so I can spend heaps of money.
Oh, dude, the store that had the biggest crowd would be the Supanova store that was selling like Funko Pops. That had a lot of people earlier in the day.
Those creepy little people with the dead soulless eyes.
You're not a Funko Pop person, are you?
Yeah, I've actually got one. No, he's fallen off my monitor. I have a Funko Pop like keychain size 4th Doctor who sits on my monitor.
Okay. And they had the pop vinyl store there, and that was hugely overrun.
And John Barrowman was there doing photographs, so I assume he was overrun.
Wow.
Actually, there were more of the Harry Potter. There were a lot of Harry Potter cosplayers, actually.
Yeah, it's coming back into the public view now that Fantastic Beasts is a thing.
But didn't you say you didn't see many cosplays any cosplays? And now you're saying you did?
I didn't see many, like many of the famous ones though. Like there were a lot that, like normally on Instagram, there'll be on Facebook, some famous cosplayers will say, "I will see you at Supernova on Friday," and I didn't see many. I was like, where did they go?
Hang on, you saw Black Cat from Jamie?
Yeah,
with Fortress.
Yeah. She
was there. She's pretty well known and an amazing Black Cat.
Oh yeah, that was actually true. She did really pull it off really well.
I know. Sitting up at the booth, there were tons of people going past. Some of whom we got photos with, and yeah, others that we didn't. But we gave them compliments and shook their hands and said we're impressed.
Did you guys see the Space Marine?
Yes, that was one of the guys. He came past. Are you talking about the Tech Priest?
Yeah, there's a Tech Priest and a Space Marine. I saw them both at Supernova earlier, like the one on the Gold Coast, and I saw them again at this one.
Yeah, the Tech Priest came past our booth, and I actually gave him a clap and said, "Well done, I'm impressed."
That's a very good costume.
It was outstanding, and I have to give full respect to most of the cosplayers that were there, that were covered from head to toe in their outfits in such incredibly hot weather.
Yeah, what I've never understood is the convention halls always seem to be really hot, but people aren't literally sweating off their body paint.
Yes, although that's actually probably a good thing, considering the fact that just down from our booth we had the body painters, and they had a couple of guys, one of whom was Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we could have. If people were actually sweating out of that paint, we would have had a huge puddle of rainbow in front of our booth.
Yeah, and especially since Spider-Man was only wearing like a thong, so not really pretty.
Yeah, I think the one of the guys from the body paint booth was also he did Kratos as well, and it looked really good.
Oh yeah, they had a few bits and pieces, and the artwork was really good. It was just a bit disturbing seeing seeing a guy walking around in a thong. Just not my thing. I'm sorry. Not many. He was quite comfortable with doing it. I just I can't see the draw of wearing a wedgie.
So anyway, we'll wrap up our coverage of Supernova there, and we'll also have to give a shout out to the New Melbourne Browncoats who shared their booth with us after a booking mix up.
Yes, and they had some amazing stuff there too. That was, how come we haven't got a link to them in the notes?
DJ, you screwed up the show notes.
New Melbourne Browncoats, eh?
Yeah, who had flown in from Melbourne that afternoon.
Yes.
Okay. Typing it, putting it in now.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we'll move on to our usual scheduled game discussion. What have you been playing this week, Bucky?
Skyrim. After finishing my assignment, I've got the time to sit back and just really get into playing it and just enjoying it. And after meeting the fantastic Steph from Blue Fox Props, who's also a Skyrim tragic, I just had to get in and play. So I'm now at level 42, and I'm able to take on pretty much everyone that I'm coming across now on my own.
So does that mean because you're so powerful, does it mean you can wipe out the Skyrim universe with a snap of your fingers?
No, because I'm not a Marvel hippie.
Skyrim has a better plot, and that's saying something.
Skyrim has an amazing plot. Nobody can wipe Tamriel off the face of the earth. EA is
Except for the 8 divines.
no,
Those
even
be
they,
praised.
even they can't wipe Tamriel off the face of the map. It's
Yeah,
just got too much
considering the
traction.
universe is literally the corpse of a god,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a bit hard.
So, yep, that's what I've been up to. Running around, killing dragons, bandits, all sorts of beasties.
And have you been playing DJ?
I'm just been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and my god, it's such a huge game. A long game.
What's the most standout feature so far? Have you done anything ridiculously cool that you can post pictures on Reddit and whatnot?
No, I haven't yet done anything ridiculously amazing. Not even. I was even tempted to write some curse word in Snow, but nah. I think the temptation wasn't there.
Okay. The
This
temptation
is
there.
unusual behavior. I'll have to check if the warranty is still in effect.
Yes. Well, the temptation was there. You just didn't act on it. It's unusual. You just let it go.
Yeah.
No!
I will say this with Supanova, we were talking so much Disney stuff, which was very amazing, which was funny.
Actually, we had so many people because a shout out to our fellow TNC podcast, Disney versus Disney. We posed a question to a lot of people who came to the booth that were trying to solve the greatest conundrum in the universe of what is the best Disney movie.
And at the time, it was Incredibles vs. Finding Nemo.
And every time we said, just ask them, what is the best Disney movie? Every single person took almost exactly the same pose, tilting their head up and to the left and really going, ooh, that's a good question.
Dude, the answer's simple. The Lion King.
Save it for the debate. Did you even get a slot in the bracket?
Nah, I forfeited mine.
I don't know if I'm in the in there or not, but I'm happy.
If you're not in the bracket, you have no right to complain when the Lion King loses.
I put my name up for a number of things. I don't know if it's in there, though. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So what game have you been playing, Professor?
I'm glad you asked, Bucky. I've been
Okay.
playing the Red Markets RPG. It's a tabletop RPG based around economics in a zombie apocalypse.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about the play style.
Well, one thing I like about it is that it has a sort of injury chart where you can take wounds to different limbs.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a bit simpler than D&D. Not that that's a bad thing. And the main enemy threat used to be zombies. But the mission we did, we were stealing like laminators to make money for a startup bank. And we had to do this careful balancing act of distracting the horde of zombies so that we didn't get eaten. Well, so that I didn't get eaten while I cut down the door to the storeroom to get the laminators.
Okay. And did you actually manage to get them without getting
Yes.
eaten? Did you lose any of your party?
No. We all got away with minor injuries.
Sounds like the Three Blind Mice.
Yep.
So the game is basically the professor trying to be the Wolf of Wall Street zombie apocalypse edition.
Yes, it's the Wolf of Wall Street with zombies and less cocaine.
I don't know. You gotta have the cocaine in there. Although I'm just looking through some of the details here, and they're saying playing in pirate fashion. So you could have a Jack Sparrow style character.
Yeah, so the characters are all mercenaries. So a Jack Sparrow would fit in very well there. Although Jack Sparrow from the first two movies, not from the sequels.
Yes. As I say, I'm liking the premise and a lot of the. You've also got a collaborative score sheet as well.
Yes, that didn't really come into effect because we were only playing one session as a one-off.
Okay. Yes. Very interesting.
Yeah, and
So-
I think it's I'd like to come back and do a campaign in this because I think the zombie mechanics are really well thought out for a zombie game.
Okay. Are you asking us to join you in a campaign?
Maybe
Okay.
indirectly, unintentionally.
You're gonna
Wink,
love
wink,
that.
nudge, nudge.
We put him on the spot. He didn't run away screaming.
Ah!
You screamed better than that when we played Deceit.
or Guns of Icarus.
No, in Guns of Icarus, he just disappeared.
Anyway,
Let's move on to the shout-out, shall we? Or do you want to do
Yes.
something else?
no, I'm happy to move on to the shoutouts. So we couldn't find any famous birthdays this week.
Oh, we could,
Well,
but we just
so-
didn't bother.
Yeah, none we could be bothered talking about. So we'll move on to the main shoutouts.
Mm-hmm.
Our first shout out this week is the centenary of the armistice on the 11th of November, known in Australia as Remembrance Day. I felt like this was a big one worth mentioning, being the end of the war to end all wars.
Yes.
It's a nice sentiment.
It was actually the last war where people on both sides actually behaved with honour on a lot of occasions. To the
Yeah,
point where, like at Easter and Christmas, they'd actually have a ceasefire and actually come out and have like the stories of them coming out and having having lunch and sharing rations with each other during
playing
the
sport.
Christmas stuff. Yeah, playing soccer in no man's land. So yeah,
Yeah, to bring it sort of back around to a gaming perspective, I think part of the reason why you don't see as many World War One movies as World War Two movies and games is because it's hard to to just have a bad guy in World War One.
yeah. Like even in the movie for the Red Baron, you don't hate the Red Baron and you don't hate the English. It's actually in the Red Baron, the one guy you did hate was the commanding officer, who was just an absolute jerk.
Yeah, so it's
I
a
don't know.
lot harder to write good enemies than it is to just pick. Yep, they're Nazis, they're bad guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, okay, what about All Quiet on the Western Front? That had like a couple. That had the bad guys as well. That had bad guys there.
Yeah, that's my
Um,
point. If you do a book about World War One, you can't really say one side is the bad guys, so it's harder to write a good enemy into the story. You guys still there, or do you guys cut out?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what DJ was saying for All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah. Did you guys go to any services?
I actually just sat back having a quiet cup of tea here at home.
Yeah,
'Cause
likewise.
I'd finished an assignment at that point, like the day before or the day after, sorry, actually. So I had a quiet cup of tea in between writing paragraphs and researching and so forth. So yeah,
Yeah, I went to one of the local ones.
they actually had a special train come down my way on the Cleveland line going to the RSL with a lot of diggers and so forth.
Is it the old steam train they pull out?
Yeah, I think it was the old steam train they pulled out. They had people dressed in costume, but they also had a lot of the different diggers from, well, probably not, maybe some of them from World War II, but also different conflicts since. Unfortunately, they couldn't have any of the guys from World War One because they're no longer with us.
Yep.
But yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe heading over there to see that and give the guys a wave and show some respect and courtesy. Interesting piece of trivia for you. You know, the Nazis actually had copies of All Quiet on the Western Front burnt. It was actually classified as an illegal book.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And it sold 2.5 million copies in 22 languages in its first 18 months of print.
Wow, that's impressive for the time period.
which was I was going to say which is in 1928. So yeah, I think
I've actually got a copy on my bookshelf, but I haven't read it yet.
In which language?
English.
Okay, you didn't
I'm
go
not
the original.
that cultured.
You didn't go the original German.
Nope. So that's the 100th anniversary of Remembrance Day.
Yes.
Hopefully, we won't be seeing any other world wars in the future.
I don't know. Give Donald Trump and Putin and the nut job in North Korea a chance. I reckon they might start something up.
49 minutes before another diplomatic incident.
See, I told you we still had time. And I went to Trifecta. I insulted 3 of the most crazy people on the planet.
So before Bucky gets us put on any other hit list, we have 2 very sad deaths to announce this week.
Yes.
One you've probably heard of already. Someone who got around a bit, was a little bit famous. Stanley, the comic book author, editor, and publisher of Marvel Comics, who passed away at the age of 95.
Mm-hmm. Or, if you want to go with his actual proper real name, it was Stanley Martin Lieber. And there's actually a special get-together at Event Cinemas in the city at 12. I can't remember what day. With a shout
It's
out.
on Saturday.
It's on
But
Saturday.
by the time the episode goes up, that will have already happened.
Darn it. Yeah, and they're going to have everyone shouting Excelsior at 12:30.
Yeah. Do you know how that became a Stanley thing?
I think it was just one of his little catchphrases because he was always trying to encourage people to go above and beyond and not just accept mediocrity. Because that was the premise for a lot of the characters for Marvel. The little
don't
guy.
be a mediocre scientist. Be a big green wrecking ball.
Yeah, like he encouraged people to strive to achieve more than what they thought they could. So don't limit yourself and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that was the reason for Excelsior, because that's
Don't limit yourself. Wipe out half the universe.
Well,
Why not finish the job? You limited yourself to half the universe. Finish the job.
hey! Don't you pick on Speckle, okay? I've only just look, don't pick on Speckle.
He's only had friends for like 130 billion years.
So doesn't mean he's not still searching for more.
And the other death we're announcing this week is Douglas Rain, the voice of HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey, who died at the age of 90.
Yes.
He was specifically picked by Kubrick because his voice was so accentless. And he does the creepy robot really well.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
I love that scene at the end when Dave's going to pull the control boards out.
Yeah.
Shut down. And Hal's bargaining with him, and he's like, "I'm afraid, Dave. Please don't." And I just love that scene. How they managed to almost humanize a psychotic killing machine.
Yeah. Such a amazing man who's left the world.
Yeah. Although I read the other day when I heard the news that he didn't want to be remembered for 2001. He wanted to be remembered for his theatre work.
He was actually a pretty big Shakespearean actor, from what I can understand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here that he performed in a wide variety of theatrical roles, such as the production of Henry V in Stratford, Ontario. That was adapted for television in 1977, and he was nominated for a Tony in 1972 for his performance in Vivat Regina.
Mm-hmm.
And if there had been more robots in Shakespeare, I'm sure he would have done well in that role too.
But do you know where Stanley Kubrick heard Rain's voice?
It was a short documentary, wasn't it?
Yeah. 1960 documentary, Universe. I don't know if it's a short one.
It's about 20 minutes, I think. I saved the link so I could go back to it.
Okay. But yeah. Survived by his 2 sons and daughter and granddaughter.
So our next shout out is the 58th anniversary of Clark Gable's death. Clark Gable, who his most famous role is probably Gone with the Wind, which is still a bigger, more profitable movie than Avatar, just said for inflation.
But frankly, Scarlett, I just don't give a damn.
I was waiting for it.
I had to.
There, from what I've gathered in the sequel, in the Gone with the Wind novel, apparently there's a sequel novel.
Yeah, there is a follow-up to the story, but they just. I think there was a movie that was made about it, but it didn't have as much oomph.
Speaking of Gone with the X, it reminds me of a webcomic, Gone with the Blast Wave.
What?
It's a post-apocalyptic comedy webcomic with this sort of eternal war scenario where the remnants of the armies of the world are fighting it out in ruined cities. I will grab a link for the show notes.
I was actually getting a bit concerned. You were talking about after being to having a good curry or something.
No, a different kind of blast wave.
We're starting to get a little bit heavy there, so it's had to inject some rather uncomfortable humour.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever like that movie?
Which movie?
Gone with the Wind.
It wasn't bad. Have you actually watched it?
Yeah, I saw it, and I'm just going. So in the end, it was just a torn down romance. The romance just torn down into pieces.
No, it was a romance painted on a canvas of one of the most tragic pieces of history, with so much turmoil and upheaval.
Yeah, but even with that surrounding, it was just at the end. At the end of it, was just I just couldn't. He just walked away, and I'm just going, wow, you walked away.
Mm-hmm. I noticed the Professor's gone very quiet here. Have you watched this movie yet, Professor?
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
I must admit I have not.
I remember watching that back when it was actually on video cassette, and
I bet you saw it in cinemas too, didn't you?
No, my dad did. My mum took my dad to see it on a date when they were courting, and my dad still makes jokes about it. Over 50 years later, gets in trouble every time.
So anyway, moving to our next shout-outs. On the 13th of November 1940, Walt Disney's Fantasia was released on at New York's Broadway Theatre, first night of a roadshow.
Yep, there was another one for Disney, but I can't see it.
Yes, Steamboat Willie, 18th of November 1928.
Yes.
Which, no, it's not the same year my grandpa was born, actually. Oh, okay, now I'm confused because we bought him a Steamboat Willie card a few years ago.
Okay. But interesting side note, Steamboat Willie was released the same year as All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah. On the 13th of November 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murders his entire family in Amityville, Long Island, which is referenced in the famous horror movie, The Amityville Horror.
Mm-hmm.
And on the horror front, on the 17th of November 1894, the serial killer H.H. Holmes was arrested in Boston after being tracked there from Philadelphia by the Pinkertons. This guy was a special case. He built a murder hotel with trapdoors and secret tunnels and stuff, and filled the basement with murder equipment, and preyed on visitors to the Chicago World's Fair.
This is who you were basing your escape room on, wasn't it?
No, my escape room was based around a mad scientist with a killer virus.
Okay. I just know you're a fan of Holmes, so.
I am. Or from a engineering point of view.
Oh, okay.
And efficiency. And I'm gonna stop digging.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Yes.
The 17th of November 1970, Douglas Engelbart received the patent for the first computer mouse.
Woohoo! And
can't live without them these days.
Gaming improved.
And
it took a long time for them to be standard, though.
Yes.
And, his patent number is one heck of a patent number too.
It's number 3,541,541.
Do you remember the old trackball mouse and having to actually take the ball out and blow the dust out and clean the ball?
Yeah, had one.
Same.
Give me laser any day. Although trackballs work better on your cat.
Yes.
The 18th of November 1905, George Bernard Shaw's Major Barbara premiered in London.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that, Bucky? What was Major Barbara about?
Major Barbara. Another one you haven't actually gone to see?
No, I'm not that old, Bucky. I'm a spring chicken.
I'm not quite that old either, remember? Did you want me to give you a rundown of what Major Barbara's about?
Yeah, sure.
Has the DJ looked it up?
Nah, no, I don't even want to know.
Oh, here we go. It's about a young woman who was a major in the Salvation.
Yes.
Who are now famous for all the wrong reasons.
How are they famous for the wrong reason?
The Salvation Army was busted last year for covering up child sex abuse.
No, there was only a few people that are facing charges, and actually, most of them were actually, like, if there was any idea of it, they were actually kicked out.
Okay.
I actually know that because my dad's in the Salvation Army, and he's been having to testify as part of the case in relation to some of the people. So
that must be rough.
Yeah. Put it this way. All the detectives that have been investigating that he's had come to visit us, they've all said that they've loved how open and helpful the Salvation Army have been. There's been no ambiguity and sleight of hand.
Fair enough. This is not being sponsored by the Salvation Army.
No. It was just, So, Major Barbara, 3-act English play about an idealistic young woman, Barbara Undershaft. So,
almost a James Bond name.
Get your mind out of the gutter, you
no.
Philistine.
I'm a proud gutter dweller. Stop oppressing my culture.
I'll oppress you as much as I like.
Next topic, guys.
I'm a white Anglo-Saxon male. I'm supposed to oppress the world. Haven't you? Warriors.
Next topic, guys. Next topic before we start.
On the 18th of November 1930, Bob Hope and Fred Astaire's musical Smiles premiered in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was just going to say they had one of the most amazing collaboration in film and musical history. They went on to do, I can't remember how many movies those two did, but they had a whole lot of movies about where they were traveling around together. With it was Morocco bound, Bali bound, or the road to Morocco, the road to Bali, a whole stack of movies.
Basically all the holiday hotspots.
Pretty much, except that I don't know if they actually visited all the locations. Most of it was probably just filmed in a sound studio. Because the road to Bali, they were apparently in Australia, and they had some horrendous Australian accents.
Have you ever seen the Hollywood maps of California?
No.
There's some old maps from the time period of California.
For the different areas for shooting for different parts of the world.
It's like go to Southern California if you want Spain, or go to the northeast if you want Wales.
Yes.
So the same day in 1959, Ben-Hur, directed by William Wyler and starring Charlton Heston, premiered in New York City.
And the DJ loves this movie.
This is the Charlton Heston who was also in the original Planet of the Apes, and who was extremely upset about them blowing it up.
Get your hands off me, you damned.
And I'm pretty sure that's why he's now an NRA advocate, because he doesn't want the apes to blow it up. Yeah, he was. He's famous for the "they can take our guns from our cold dead hands" line.
Yep.
And then on the same day in 1994, Star Trek Generations. Oh, I'm getting tired. Star Trek Generations, directed by David Carson and starring the famous Sir Patrick Stewart, premiered.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since Sir Patrick Stewart has been on Star Trek, but I think he's probably the most iconic Starfleet captain.
He's generally one of the most preferred. Like the original Star Trek, but with Patrick Stewart as captain instead.
Replacing William Shatner.
Yes. Like if you could put Stewart and what's his name who plays Spock?
Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy. That would have been an amazing combination.
What do you think of the later ones, like General Sisko and Captain Janeway?
I actually haven't gotten to that part yet. I've been working my way through the original. I also think it's funny that for Patrick Stewart's series, they changed the uniforms from yellow to red, so now the captain is a red shirt.
Yeah, well, they had to make it so because it was the iconic idea and joke was already around for almost 20 years of red shirts dying. Nobody wanted to wear the red shirt. And Patrick Stewart said, I'll wear the red shirt. I'm not scared. They won't kill me off because I'm the captain.
And he drinks his tea Earl Grey hot.
You were planning for that, weren't you?
No, that was off the cuff.
But funnily enough, he actually does that in real life too.
He's a very British man. He's a sir. He drinks his tea Earl Grey hot.
Mm-hmm.
How more British could you get?
Or
I don't know. Maybe not that. Maybe I'm not sure.
Okay, he's not the Queen.
He could be.
He's friends with Sir Ian McKellen as well.
Yes. And if you see some of the photo collaborations where those two are getting up to mischief, they have so much fun.
That's when they're not busy trying to kill each other with mind powers. And that's all we have for tonight. So we'll wrap it up here. And check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and now Spotify. Send us an email at nerds.amalgamated@gmail.com or send us a tweet at namalgamated. Do we have any others? Have I missed any?
Nah. Oh, we do have we'll be doing a Stanley tribute episode in the next few days.
Although that might very well be up before this episode.
Yeah.
Depending on how we schedule that out. So if it's not up, then you now know that we are planning a Stanley tribute. So that's all from us for this week. We'll see you next week. Or for certain values of C. Considering this is audio only, as Bucky discovered when he wanted to buy the helmet.
Still want the helmet.
You will get the helmet. Don't worry. I'll ask Steph to make you a helmet.
Okay.
Okay, guys, sign off so we can go and get Bucky into bed. He's going to have a tantrum soon.
I am not. Just give me my damn helmet. Oh, right.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening.